Hey guys, Nick Kellar, Greg Brock, Atlas Premier Realty. We have another video blog for you today. Today we wanted to chat with you about the difference between foreclosure sales and bank-owned sales. It's just, we work with a lot of first-time home buyers, even seasoned home buyers.
Yep.
And this comes up often, and there's just a little confusion with what they are and how they work and what the differences are. So we just wanted to touch on that. So we'll jump right into it. So foreclosure. So this is a type of sale that's not in the traditional sense of it that the bank actually owns it. It's the beginning of the foreclosure process. So the seller hasn't paid their mortgage, and the bank has set a date for what's called a foreclosure auction. This is going to be handled typically at the courthouse, the county courthouse of where the property is, or in some cases right in front of the property. Right.
In the state of Maryland, it's always at the courthaus steps because we're a judicial state. But in other states, it's on the courthouse or on the steps of the house.
Right. And then typically, it could be anybody can come. You have to have cash in hand. The deposit is typically announced in the paper where these sales are announced. And what makes these sales really difficult and a lot of times, most of the times, unsuccessful is that they are as bare bones as you can get. The bank doesn't own them yet, so they are not in possession of them. They just have the right to auction it off. So you, as the buyer, are responsible of taking it as is. So any property defects, any title defects. So if there's any liens or judgments on the title, you're responsible for clearing them. And even on down to anybody living in the house currently, that's you as the buyer. That's your responsibility for getting them out. So it is very bare bones.
It's pretty risky. And there's some other things that come into play when the bank will come in, and the next step is where we get to bank owned, and the reason that the bank owns them is because they're usually the one that buys them back.
Right.
And we can get into much more detail on why they're buying them back, but this second subset is actually what most people think of when they think of a foreclosure. This property is on the market for sale and usually marketed as an REO, which means real estate owned, or a bank owned, or sometimes a foreclosure or foreclosed. And we can get into each one of those subsets and what they mean. But for now, we'll just tell you essentially this property has all of the liens cleared. The property has the people have been removed. The previous owners have been removed.
So it's vacant.
It's vacant. And usually they've secured the property, meaning that they've hopefully winterized it and made sure that the property has stayed secure. These properties sell much like a traditional sale, except you're dealing with a bank instead of a traditional seller.
Right. So the bank has now acquired them. That's the difference between a foreclosure sale and now an REO or bank-owned sale.
Correct.
And that's what most people are alluding to, is that the latter one of those. And those are what you typically see publicly online, on the MLS, on Zillow's.
Correct.
Is there restrictions on the financing for foreclosures?
Depending on the condition of the property, essentially no. The blanket statement is no, but depending on the type of financing that you're going after, they will usually have some kind of condition, appraisal, or inspection, and that could affect whether or not.
It's case by case, right? So you just got to check and maybe scrub it with the person the agent that you're working with, and the lender that you're working with. So the blanket answer, as Greg says, no, but case by case. Awesome. And you had a bonus tip.
So when you guys are searching on Zillow, make sure you pay special attention to what kind of foreclosure you're looking at if you see those terms. It'll say pre-foreclosure, foreclosed, or foreclosure, and look for a video coming up on exactly what each one of those mean on Zillow.
Yeah. We know we've scratched the surface with this topic. We can go into multiple videos with this. Maybe that's something we'll do here in the next few weeks. But we encourage you, if you have any questions, know anybody who does with these types of sales, please reach out to us. We'd be happy to help. As always, we appreciate the support, appreciate you checking us out, and we'll see you on our next video blog.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.